Hello and welcome to the February 24th special meeting. Let's stand for a salute to the flag. Mr. Kolesky.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call for tonight. Mr. Belmont and Mrs. Aragona could not make the meeting tonight, so we have 5 members of the board present, so we have a quorum. Dr. Lynch has asked us to convene a special meeting to consider an addendum to the Memorandum of Agreement with the Lynbrook Teachers Association with regard to a retirement incentive. So now I'm going to turn it over to you, Dr. Lynch.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Danino, and thank you, members of the board, for coming out on a Monday night after the break. So we greatly appreciate your dedication to what we're doing here. So to provide a little context as to why we are here, so we met a few weeks ago to establish a retirement incentive. So we're having, I think it's public knowledge that we're having a tough budget year. We've probably seen the most historic deficit that we had seen in a lot of years. And slowly but surely that deficit has been declining and been able to kind of be brought closer together. One of the things that we really needed to get done was we wanted to hurry the attrition process along. So what attrition is when you have people who are working a 30-year career, they come, they work their time, and they go, and they retire, and it's a wonderful thing. And what that process does, that essentially prevents you from needing to lay off staff because the process will take care of itself. This year, we decided that attrition process needed a little boost. And so for the first time since 1995, so this district had not done a retirement incentive since 1995, the board came together and they established an incentive that 10 members of the LTA, that's the Lynbrook Teachers Association, and that would include teachers, psychologists, counselors, social workers, speech therapists, as well as the nurses. It's open to them, and what would happen is if they were 55 years old with 30 years of service credit, they would be eligible to retire by June 30th, they would be able to get $1,000 for their first 30 sick days that they had accrued, $500 a day for days 31 through 50, and $120 a day for days 51 through 240. So those people who must retire to take this incentive would have been effective on June 30th. This incentive was also open to other people who don't have to retire because they're not of full retirement age, but they would just have to be over the age of 55. As we started to get into it, what we discovered is that with 1 or 2 tweaks to the original memorandum of agreement, we would be able to secure perhaps a few other retirements. The goal of this retirement incentive is to bridge the gap. So that's why you're out here tonight, because what we would do tonight, I'm asking you to adopt an addendum that simply adds 1 sentence to the original memorandum of agreement, and it moves that retirement date, that required retirement date, back from June 30th to September 30th. What would happen is this would involve now people having the ability to come back, maybe work the month of September as a permanent sub, establish extra time, establish extra sick days, and then we would be able to pay them out, and they would be retired effective September 30th. So when we do that math, we wind up, on someone making $145,000 a year, we net about $130 out of that. So we decided that was well worth it. We're at such, I can't emphasize this enough, we're at such the point in the budget development process that every bit counts. So doing this tonight puts us into a new category to maybe get someone else. So before we do that, do you have questions from the board? Feel free. I did say to some of the board members, we were unable to live stream last time. So if you wanted to re-ask any of the questions that you asked last time, that would be fine, of what your thoughts on coming to have an incentive at this time.
Yes, so I mean, we did go over this at the last meeting, but because it wasn't live streamed, I just want to clarify. The whole purpose of this incentive, we're not firing teachers, right? We're not forcing anybody to take this incentive, right?
That's why it's an incentive.
Right, it's there just to, it's really a way of someone who is close or ready to retirement, giving them some financial benefit to them to retire a year or 2 earlier than they otherwise may have. And in the process, what it does is it saves the district significant money because that person's generally going to be at the top of the salary scale And if we bring in someone to fill that spot, it will be lower down on the salary scale. Generally,
Yes.
that's how it's
And
supposed
in
to
some
work.
cases, there will be also be we may not even be replacing, so we would
Right.
be able to recoup all of that. And it's not just salary; it's salary and benefits. So sometimes someone could that can ultimately come a higher person on the scale, about $170,000 a person, than if we did not replace them at all.
Right, and I think the other point that it's important for the community to understand, and this was discussed at the last meeting also, so it's, for those 2 or 3 people who actually watch, it'll be like repeating if you read the transcript of the last meeting, but the money that's going to be used to pay out this incentive, because in some cases it's tens of thousands of dollars to certain teachers, there's a specific reserve that we have set aside for that, for exactly that, for paying out these types of payments. And it's a reserve that can't be used for anything else. So it's money that's set aside. So if anyone's thinking, well, why can't they use that to cover these other expenses? It can't be. It's a reserve that only can be used for this exact type of situation or something akin to this. So we're really, it's money that is sitting there used for this purpose. It's not coming out of a different bucket that could be used
And
for
we currently have
transportation.
$3.1 million in that fund.
Right, and if 10 people took the retirement, how much would come out of that fund?
It depends really
I
on
guess
the
it
number
depends.
of
Yeah, so-
sick days, but if they all were to maximize, to get the maximum payout, it would be about $600,000.
And the money's there and it's
Yes.
sitting there and it's meant for this exact purpose.
Yes.
Okay.
Do we know yet how many teachers have indicated they're interested in the incentive, and how close is that to the minimum we need for this plan to work and make sense?
So I met with the 8th teacher today. So there was someone who announced their retirement. That's to still. So we are expecting that 2 more would come by Friday. So that would be that would hit us. That would get us to that 10.
And is this change to the MOA what is going to get us to that 10?
That's correct. Yep. Exactly. Yep. That's why we're having you come out tonight.
Okay. Seeing no other questions, no need for public comment, because there's no public here. So I'm just going to read the resolution 2502 G53. Be it resolved that resolution 2501 G26 memorandum of agreement dated January 28, 2025 between the Lynbrook Teachers Association regarding the terms and conditions for a one-time retirement incentive for a qualified unit member be amended to reflect the following addition. Addition to paragraph 3, application procedure. Add option D in first sentence on September 30th, 2025, if the unit member is eligible to retire without penalty pursuant to either TRS or ERS rules and regulations on or before June 30th, 2025. Can I have a motion to accept the resolution? Shannon, second. Luna, all in favor?
I do have an announcement, if I may.
Yes,
So
go
we received late-breaking word that Zach Teniers will be going to the state championships in Albany this weekend. So that is as breaking news as it gets. Good luck, absolutely.
Okay, so we have a budget work session on March 4th and the regular meeting on March 12th. Thank you, everybody, and have a great evening.